Hi, greetings to you all. I am Dr. A. Venkatnarayana, Associate Professor, Department of Biotechnology, Vignan Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, deemed to be University. Today, I would like to discuss about design of ideal reactors. So, here these reactors are mainly used to carry out the biochemical reaction or chemical reaction under controlled conditions for the manufacturing of various products such as the primary and secondary metabolites. These mainly involves the enzymes, vitamins, amino acids, vaccines and antibiotics. So, here this reactor is mainly used to maintain the uniform conditions for biochemical reaction or chemical reaction. So, these uniform conditions can be maintained in a bioreactor and chemical reactors to obtain the uniform product quality. Okay. Objective: to design various ideal reactors, the outcomes, develop performance equation for the batch reactor, the plug flow reactor and mixed flow reactor, analyze PFRs in series and MFRs in series, analyze the reactors of different types in series, solve problems on reactor design. Contents of the today's topic are the ideal reactors, the performance equation for the batch, plug flow and mixed flow reactor, the PFRs in series, MFRs in series, the reactors of different types in series, followed by summary. So, introduction, the batch reactor. So, here I already said that reactors are mainly classified into two types based on the contacting flow patterns of the reactants within the reactor. These are mainly classified as the unsteady state reactors and steady state reactors. In unsteady state reactor, the concentrations varies with respect to the time. The best example is batch reactor. In steady state reactors, the concentration do not vary with respect to the time. So, the best example is plug flow reactor and mixed flow reactors. These reactors are known as flow reactors. So, in flow reactors, that means the concentration do not vary with respect to the time. This comes under the steady state reactors. So, first one, the batch reactor. In batch reactor, the composition varies with respect to the time, but at any particular instant of time, the concentration throughout the reactor is same. Okay, here the composition changes with the time, but at any particular time, the concentration is uniform or composition is uniform throughout the reactor. Throughout the reactor, the concentration is uniform. So, here the batch reactor is a closed vessel. Before the start of the reaction, we send all the reactants at a time into the reactor. Once the reaction completes, then only we remove the products. So, here at any particular time t, the composition or concentration of the reactants and products are uniform throughout the reactor. When time changes, the concentrations changes. Okay. So, second one, the plug flow reactor. The plug flow reactor is a tubular reactor in which that means the composition varies with respect to the length of the reactor. But when you take the concentration or compositions at a particular length, these do not vary with respect to the time. And also here, this is the tubular reactor. In tubular reactor, the early entry fluid, that is the early entry reactant, do not mix with the late entry reactants. There will not be any back mixing within the 0. In PFR, the back mixing is 0. So, there will not be any overtaking of the fluids with one another. So, back mixing is 0 within the PFR, and in PFR, the concentrations varies with respect to the length of the reactor, but the concentrations do not vary with respect to the time at any particular length. So, mixed flow reactor. In mixed flow reactor, that means here this consists of the impeller or agitator. So, because of highly mixing conditions within the reactor, the concentrations are uniform throughout the reactor, and also these do not vary with respect to the time. So, the concentrations or compositions of the reaction mixture are constant with respect to time as well as position. So, and also one very important point you need to remember here is, that means whatever the concentration is there within the MFR, the same concentration we can get in the exit stream or effluent stream. Whatever the concentrations are there within the reactor, the same concentrations we can get in the exit stream or effluent stream. So, the exit stream has similar composition as that of the within the reactor, Whatever the concentration of the reactants are there within the reactor, the same concentrations we can get in the exit stream. And also because of the stir and impeller present within the MFR, this is the highly mixed reactor. This is the highly mixed reactor. The concentrations do not vary with respect to time as well as the position. Okay. So first one, here you can see the various diagrams for different reactors. First one is the batch reactor. In batch reactor, the concentration varies with respect to the time, but at any particular time the concentration is uniform throughout the reactor. And the second one is the PFR. The PFR is the plug flow reactor. This is the tubular reactor. The concentration varies with respect to the length of the reactor, but at any particular length the concentrations do not vary with respect to the time. The last one is the MFR, mixed flow reactor, in which the concentration do not vary with respect to time as well as position. So here these two reactors comes under the steady state reactors. Steady state reactors. In steady state reactors, the concentrations do not vary with respect to the time. So the batch reactor comes under the unsteady state reactor. Yeah, I already said batch reactor comes under the unsteady state reactor. So in which the concentration varies with respect to the time, but at any particular time the concentration is uniform throughout the. So next one, the material balance and energy balance equations. For any reactor design, the starting point is the material balance equation and energy balance equation. With help of this only, we can develop the performance equations for the reactors or bioreactors. So here, before you go to this one, first one we will see the material balance equation. In material balance equation, so within the entire reactor volume, consider the small cubical volume element. Here we have taken the small cubical volume element from the reactor volume. From the reactor volume, you may consider this volume as small cubical differential volume, that consists of small volume taken from the entire volume of the reactor. So for this, here this is the reactant enters, this is the input, and here this is the reactant leaves, this is the output, this is the output. So here within the reactor volume, that is the cubical volume element, that means the reactant accumulates during the reaction, some amount of the reactant accumulates within the that means the selected volume, selected cubical volume accumulation, and some reactant gets converted to the product, that is the rate of disappearance of the reactant. This is the disappearance of reactant, that is for conversion to the product. So here within the reactor we can have the disappearance of the reactant due to chemical reaction. This converts to the product. And during the reaction, some amount of the reactant accumulates within the reactor. So here how many that means the terms exist within the cubical element of the volume? We have the input of the reactants, that means rate of reactant enters into the reactor and rate of reactant leaves out of the reactor, and here the rate of accumulation of the reactant within the reactor, that is the accumulation term, and rate of disappearance of the reactant due to the chemical reaction, this reactant converts to the product. So write this one here, this in terms of the material balance equation, rate of reactant flow into the element of volume, that is the selected volume from the entire reactor, equal to rate of reactant, this is the input, rate of reactant enters into the reactor, that equal to rate of reactant flow out of the element of volume, this is the output, and here a rate of reactant loss due to chemical reaction within the volume element. This is the disappearance of the reactant. This is the disappearance of the reactant for chemical reaction, it converts to the product. Next one, plus rate of accumulation of the reactant within the volume element. This is the accumulation of the reactant. So here this equation is known as material balance equation. With help of this equation, we can find out the volume of the reactor required for given reaction. We can find out, and also we can find out the rate of reaction as reaction time, and also you can find out the conversion that means of the reactants to the products at any particular time t of the reaction also you can find out. So here the basic that means the point for starting off any reactor design is the material and energy balance equation. So here all the terms in this material balance equation has the units of the moles per second, moles per time, or this can be written as mole per second or mole per hour. So rate of reactant flow into the element of volume is the number of moles of the reactant enters into the reactor volume per unit time, that equal to number of, that means moles of the reactant leaves out of the reactor per unit time. That means rate of loss of the reactant per unit time. This is rate of accumulation of the reactant per unit time. All the units in this material balance, all the terms in this material balance equation has the units of the mole per second. That is the amount of reactant that means enters per mole and leaves per mole, rate of reactant loss due to that means chemical reaction per mole, and also rate of accumulation of the reactant per mole. Okay. All the terms in this material balance equation we represent with mole per time. Okay. So this is also energy balance equation. So here this is also cubical volume taken from the reactor volume. So whenever the temperature is not uniform within the reactor, we apply the energy balance equation. So here also the heat enters into the reaction, similar to the mass balance, this one. Here this heat enters, that is energy, the input into the cubical element of volume. The heat leaves, that is the energy leaves, output, and also the heat accumulates, that is the energy accumulates within the reactor, this accumulation, and also heat disappears due to chemical reaction. Some reactions requires heat, some reactions liberates heat, depends on this heat, that means endothermic and exothermic nature of the reaction. We can have the heat variations, and also we can have the temperature variation. This can be represented with that means the heat disappearance. This mainly produced due to the chemical reaction or biochemical reaction. Chemical reaction or biochemical reaction. Since the reactions only itself produces the heat effects. So here earlier in this equation, mass balance equation, when you replace simply mass with heat, that becomes the heat balance equation. So here again rate of heat flow into the element of volume is equal to rate of heat flow out of the element of volume, rate of disappearance of heat within the element of volume, rate of accumulation of heat within the element of volume. Though here all the terms in the heat balance equation is also have the units of generally joule per mole. Joule per rate means always per unit time, joule per time. Joule per time. Okay. That means rate of heat flow into the element per unit time, rate of heat flow out of the volume element, rate of disappearance of heat due to chemical reaction, rate of accumulation of heat within the element of volume. So all the terms in this equation has the units of the amount of heat per unit time, amount of heat per unit time. So this is the energy balance equation, where these two equations can be combined with each other. Before you combine these two equations, first how can we apply this material balance equation and heat balance equation to the reactor design problems? So when you take the reactor, within the reactor the concentration of the reactants are uniform throughout the reactor, we can directly apply the mass balance equation to the entire volume of the reactor. We can directly apply the mass balance equation to the entire volume of the reactor. When the concentration is not uniform within the reactor, we need to break down the entire volume into the small volume elemental steps, and here for any one volume elemental step, apply the mass balance equation and then integrate to the whole reactor. Similar to this one, here also heat balance equation, whenever the temperature is not uniform within the reactor, break down the entire volume of the reactor into small volume elemental steps, apply the heat balance equation to any one volume elemental step, and then integrate to the whole reactor. Then you can apply to the whole reactor. So here the mass balance equation, when the concentration is not uniform within the reactor, that is the concentration of the reactants are uniform within the reactor, you can directly apply the mass balance equation to the entire volume of the reactor. This is very important point you need to remember. When the concentration is not uniform within the reactor, break down the entire volume of the reactor into small volume elemental steps and apply the mass balance equation to any one volume elemental step and then integrate to the whole reactor. So okay, when the concentration is not uniform within the reactor. Similar to the concentration, temperature. When temperature is uniform within the reactor, apply the heat balance equation to the entire volume of the reactor. When temperature is not uniform within the reactor, break down the entire volume into small elemental steps, apply the heat balance equation to any one elemental step and then integrate to the whole reactor. And next point is, that means how can we combine this material balance equation with heat balance equation? At what point these two equations are combined with each other? So here at third term, we can combine the material balance equation with the heat balance equation. What is the third term in the material balance equation? Rate of reactant loss due to chemical reaction. Rate of reactant loss due to chemical reaction. What is the third term in the heat balance equation? Rate of disappearance of heat by the reaction within the element of volume. Why? Because the heat effects can be produced by the reaction itself. The heat effects generally produces by the reaction itself. So here the heat effects generally comes from the reaction. What is the here the chemical reaction term in the material balance equation? The third term, that is second term on the right hand side, that is the rate of reactant loss due to chemical reaction. Because of the chemical reaction only we can have the heat effects, production of the heat effects. So what is the third term in heat balance equation? Rate of disappearance of the heat by the reaction within the element of volume. Here also we can have the reaction, there also we can have the reaction. So here with the help of the third term we can combine the material and energy balance equations together. Okay. Performance equation for ideal batch reactor. Very important one. For ideal batch reactor, already said that the concentrations varies with respect to the time, but at any particular time t, the concentrations are uniform throughout the reactor. Since the concentrations are uniform throughout the reactor, our material balance equation directly applied to the entire volume of the reactor. Since at any particular time the concentration is uniform throughout the reactor, our material balance equation directly applied to the entire volume of the reactor. So here apply the mass balance equation for component A. Here he is applying the mass balance equation for component A. Here consider as the reactant. So here what is the mass balance equation? Input equal to output plus disappearance plus accumulation. That is the rate of reactant A enters into the reactor equal to rate of reactant A leaves from the reactor and rate of disappearance of the reactant due to chemical or biochemical reaction plus rate of accumulation of the reactant within the reactor volume. So here for batch reactor, what are the characteristics of the batch reactor? Generally the batch reactor is closed vessel, and also before start of the reaction we send all the reactants at a time into the reactor. Once the reaction completes, then only we remove the products. So during the reaction we don't add any reactants and we don't remove any products from the reactor. So here during the reaction the input and output are 0. Input is 0, output is 0. Why input and output are 0? During the reaction we are not adding any reactants to the reactor, and also during the reaction we are not removing any products from the reactor. So for the batch reactor input and output are 0. When input and output are 0, so then this equation becomes, so here disappearance equal to, take this accumulation to the left hand side, this becomes minus accumulation. Disappearance equal to minus accumulation. How can you write the disappearance of A? What is the disappearance? Disappearance of A due to chemical reaction. Disappearance of A due to chemical reaction is nothing but what? Rate of disappearance of A. Rate of disappearance of the A minus RA. But what are its units? Rate of reaction units are moles per meter cube per second. Rate of reaction units are mole per meter cube per second. But I want this disappearance in terms of the mole per second. Why? Because all the terms in the material balance equation has the units of mole per unit time, that is mole per second. So to obtain the disappearance of A in terms of the mole per second, multiply with the reactor volume V, that is meter cube. So meter cube becomes cancelled. You can obtain the disappearance of A in terms of the mole per second. So for that multiply minus RA with V. For this multiply minus RA with V. Okay. Then you can obtain the rate of disappearance of A in terms of the mole per second. Next one, the accumulation term. What is accumulation? The number of moles of A accumulated per unit time within the reactor. That is, this can be written as dNA by dt. So d by dt of what is Na? Na can be written as number of, here Na is the number of moles of A left. So within the reaction after certain time t. So this can be written as Na naught into 1 minus Xa. Na naught into 1 minus Xa. Na naught is what? Initial number of moles of A. They take out of the differential. When you take this out of the differential, d by dt of 1, that is constant 0. And then d by dt of minus Xa minus dxa by dt. So this can be written as minus Na naught into dxa by dt. This is the accumulation term. So previous one is what? Rate of disappearance of A due to chemical reaction minus RAV, and this term is accumulation of A minus Na naught into dxa by dt. Now substitute back this into the material balance equation. Already input and output are 0. So here already input and output are 0. From this one you can write this as, so minus RAV is equal to, on accumulation term to the that is left hand side, that becomes what, positive Na naught into dxa by dt. This is equal to minus RAV. Minus RAV. From this one you can write this as, take the dt to the this side, dt is equal to Na naught into dxa by minus RA into V. This is the equation. dt is equal to Na naught into dxa minus RAV. Integrate this equation for entire reaction time. At time t is equal to 0, before the start of the reaction, what is the conversion of A? Conversion of reactant to the product is 0. The conversion is 0. Xi is equal to 0. At time t is equal to t, that is at reaction time t, the desired conversion Xi is equal to Xa. From this one, integral dt is t, lower limit is 0, upper limit is t. On right hand side, Na naught is constant, initial number of moles of A is constant. Since this is the batch reactor, volume is also constant. This volume is also constant. Both can be taken out of the integral. Why? Because initial number of moles of A constant, volume is constant. Since batch reactor is a closed vessel, the entire volume of the reaction mixture is constant. Na naught by V taken out of the integral. So Na naught by V is nothing but what? Ca naught, moles by volume concentration. So Ca naught into, that is Xa 0 to Xa naught, sorry, Xa dxa by minus Re. Minus Re. So like this, from this equation here, rearranging and integrating is t is equal to Na naught 0 to Xa dxa by minus Rav. So here up to this equation you can plot the graph. Why should we plot the graph? To find out the right hand side integral. Once to find out this right hand side integral, you can find this integral numerically or you can find this integral graphically. Suppose if you have the if you want to find out this numerically, this equation, you should have the relation of minus Ra as function of Xa. Once if you have the relationship between minus Ra versus function of Xa, you can find out this integral numerically. Otherwise, you can find out the right hand side integral graphically. If you have the experimental data of minus Ra versus Xa. Okay. So for this one, take 1 by minus Rav on y-axis and take the conversion on x-axis. Conversion on x-axis. When you plot a graph, so here to plot this graph, we should have the data of my experimental data of minus Ra versus Xa. Minus Ra versus Xa. If you have this data, then only you can get the different point. That means as reaction proceeds, concentration of the reactant decreases, rate of reaction varies. When rate of reaction varies, automatically we can have the variation in conversion. Once if you have the experimental data, with this you can plot the graph. So here, when you plot this graph, since integration is there on right hand side, the area under the curve gives the value of t by Na naught. From this one here, bring Na naught to the left hand side, this becomes t by Na naught. So this gives the t by Na naught. Since Na naught we know, once if you have the Na naught, and this term can be found out graphically on right hand side term, from this you can obtain the t. What is this t? T the batch time required to obtain the desired conversion Xa. Conversion Xa is nothing but how much amount of the reactant gets converted to the product. Okay. You can obtain the batch reaction time t. And also this equation can be put into some other forms by doing certain mathematical manipulation. For this here, the other one is what? Once if in place of Na naught by V, suppose if you write this Ca naught, from substitute upper limit t minus 0, that this equation becomes t is equal to Ca naught into 0 to Xa dxa by minus Ra. Again you plot the graph. Minus 1 by Ra. Take this as on y-axis and Xa on x-axis. Now plot the graph again. If you have the experimental data of minus Ra versus Xa. Again, so from this you can obtain the t by Ca naught. From this one you can write this as, bring Ca naught to the left hand side. This becomes the t by Ca naught. You can find out the t by Ca naught. Since the Ca naught is the initial concentration of A before start of the reaction, from this one you can find out the batch time required to obtain the desired conversion Xa. So like this, here you can put this into some other form also. How can you put that into some other form? So here you can convert this the limits of this one. Here we have the on right hand side XA limits. You can convert this to the concentration limits. How can you convert this to the concentration limits? So before that one, right, V taken out of the integral. This can be written as Na0 by V is Ca0. So integral. Now XA conversion at time t is equal to 0, the conversion is 0. Suppose if you want to convert to the concentration at time t is equal to 0, what is the initial concentration of the reactant? Ca0. Initial concentration of the reactant is Ca0. At time t is equal to the conversion is XA. But if you want to convert to the concentration at time t is equal to the concentration of A left within the reaction mixture is Ca. Ca is without converting to the product. So here d into what is XA? The XA units are XA is equal to Ca0 minus Ca by Ca0 minus Ca by Ca0 divided by what is here minus Ra. Minus Ra. From this one you can write T is equal to Ca0 into integral Ca0 to Ca. So here Ca0 is constant, 1 by Ca0 is constant. You can take out of the differential and also integral. So this becomes here comes under Ca0 by Ca0 becomes cancelled. Here differential of Ca0. Derivative of Ca0 is constant, derivative of Ca0 is 0. Again derivative of minus Ca, minus dCA. Minus dCA by minus Ra. This is the final equation you can obtain as T is equal to Ca0 to Ca minus dCA by minus Ra. Again for this equation also you can plot the graph. Now take 1 by minus Ra on y-axis and take the concentration of A and concentration of A0 on y-axis. You can obtain the plot as T. T is what? Reaction time required to obtain the desired the concentration is Ca. To obtain the desired concentration is Ca. So the same equation we put into 3 forms, and for each form we plot the graph to find out the right hand side integral that gives the reaction time that is required for to obtain the desired conversion XA or to obtain the desired concentration of A left within the reaction mixture. So here with help of this performance equation you can find out the reaction time required to obtain the desired conversion XA. Sometimes you can find out the Na0 once if you know the other quantities. Sometimes you can find out the minus Ra, and sometimes you can find out the size of the reactor required for given reaction. So with help of the that means the performance equation. The performance equation mainly consists of the 4 or 5 times. Those are the time, Na0, the volume, minus Ra and Xa. Suppose if you know the sum of these quantities, you can find out the other quantities. But the main focus on the performance equation is to find out the size of the reactor required for given reaction. That is volume of the reactor required. That also can be find out with help of the performance equation. So next one, space time and space velocity. So here space time is the time required to process one reactor volume of feed measured at specified conditions. Space time tau is equal to 1 by s. Space time tau is equal to 1 by s. Suppose if I say the space time of 2 minutes. So here that means that is in 2 minutes we can process one reactor volume of feed. Suppose if I say the space time of 5 minutes, in every 5 minutes we process one reactor volume of the feed. Okay. Next one, space velocity, the number of reactor volumes of feed measured at specific conditions which can be treated in unit time. Suppose if I say the space velocity of 5 hour inverse means, so here 5 reactor volumes of the feed can be processed in 1 hour or in unit time. So that is the number of reactor volumes of feed that can be processed in unit time. Okay. Next one, does a space velocity of 5 hour inverse means that the 5 reactor volumes of the feed, 5 reactor volumes of the feed at specified conditions being treated into the reactor per hour. This is very important, per hour. Suppose if I say the space time of 10 hour inverse means 10 reactor volumes of the feed can be treated in unit hour. It can be treated in unit hour. A space time of 2 minutes means that every 2 minutes we process one reactor volume of the feed. We process one reactor volume of the feed measured at specified conditions or at given conditions. Okay. And also we can have the relationship between space time to the space velocity. Tau is equal to 1 by s. Again tau is equal to Ca0, initial concentration of the reactant A into the volume of the reactor by Fa0. FA naught. Okay. So CA naught the moles of A entering per volume of the feed, that is constant moles by volume. V is the volume of the reactor. Next one here FA naught is the number of moles of A enters into the reactor per unit time, that is moles of A entering per time. From this one here, moles of A entering becomes cancelled. Moles of A reactant enters into the becomes cancelled. You can obtain this as, so here volume of the reactor by bring this volume time under the volume of the feed, so that is becomes the volumetric flow rate. Tau is equal to V by nu naught. V is the volume of the reactor, nu naught is the volumetric feed rate. Okay. So here this tau and S are the performance measure of the batch reactor. So he already said that the tau is the that means the space time. This is the performance measure of the batch reactor. That means at space time you can say this as the performance measure. That means at space time tau, how much amount of the reactant gets converted to the product. Okay. Next one, performance equation for MFR. Before you go to the performance equation for MFR, it's very important to know about the characteristics of the MFR. What are the characteristics of the MFR? The MFR consists of the high speed impeller or agitator. We can have the highly mixing conditions within the reactor. So here during the reaction we can have the highly mixing conditions within the reactor, since the concentrations are uniform throughout the reactor, and also the concentrations do not vary with respect to the time. And one more characteristics you need to remember for MFR is, whatever the concentrations are there within the reactor or MFR, the same concentrations we can get in the exit stream or effluent stream. Just now we will go to the diagram of the MFR. So this is the MFR diagram. This consists of the stirrer. That is because of this one we can obtain the highly mixing conditions within the MFR. This is the stirrer. So within the MFR we can have this V, the volume of the reaction mixture within the MFR, Xi the conversion of reactant A to the product, and Ci the concentration of A left within the reaction mixture or MFR, and minus Ra is the rate of disappearance of reactant within the MFR. And what are the input and output for MFR? These are the input conditions for the MFR. What are input conditions? Ca naught, that is the initial concentration of A, and here Xa naught is 0 before start of the reaction, that is the conversion of A is 0, and next one nu naught is the volumetric flow rate. The feed rate is 0, and Fa naught is the molar flow rate of A. And here what are the output conditions? These are output conditions comes out of the MFR. This is the output. Output is mainly whatever the conditions are there within the MFR, the same conditions within the MFR can be get as the output. Here CAF is equal to Ca. What is Ca? Ca is the concentration of A is that is without converted to the product. The same Ca we can have within the MFR. Again XAF, conversion XA within the MFR also we can have the conversion XA, and nu F is the volumetric flow rate, and minus Ra. So within the MFR also minus Ra, Fa. Fa is what? The molar flow rate, outlet molar flow rate of A. But these two are different. Why? Because here we have the inlet molar flow rate is Fa naught, outlet molar flow rate is Fa. So here this is the MFR, input and output and conditions within the MFR. So with help of these conditions we are going to develop the performance equation for MFR. And I already said that because of highly mixing conditions within the MFR, the concentration is uniform throughout the reactor. Whenever the concentration is uniform throughout the reactor, our entire material balance equation directly applied to the whole reactor volume. So we need not to break down the volume into small elemental steps. Okay. So for this one, again go back to this PFR. So the performance equation for MFR. So here the composition is uniform throughout. This accounting may be made about the whole reactor. So the material balance equation directly applied to the whole reactor for reactant A. Again this equation, material balance equation, is input is equal to output plus disappearance plus accumulation. For steady state reactors, the accumulation is 0. For steady state reactors are plug flow reactor and mixed flow reactor. These are comes under the steady state reactor. For steady state reactor, output is 0. Output when 0, That means the amount of the reaction mixture comes out is equal to the amount of the reactants enters into the reactor. So when these two input and output are same, the accumulation term is 0. For MFR, the accumulation term is 0. For steady state reactors, it's very important to remember accumulation term is 0. For steady state reactors, the accumulation is always 0. Why? Because the amount of the leaving is equal to the amount entering. So again, here for accumulation term is 0. When accumulation term is 0 for the MFR, the terms left in the material balance equation, we have the input, output and disappearance. Only 3 terms left. What is input? The input of the reactant, that means we are doing for the reactant A. This material balance equation we are doing for reactant A, and for this input of A. Input of A is nothing but what? Moles of A enters into the reactor per unit time, that is FA naught. FA naught is what? Molar flow rate of A. That is the amount of the moles of A enters into the reactor per unit time. That is the molar flow rate of A. What is the output of A? That is the moles of A leaves out of the reactor or MFR. That is FA. Just now in previous diagram, I have shown FA as in output condition. So FA is equal to the moles of A leaves the MFR per unit time. So FA can be written as the moles of FA is equal to FA naught into 1 minus XA. This is the based on the equation. What is NA? The number of moles of A left in the reaction mixture is equal to Na naught into 1 minus XA. 1 minus XA. So on both sides divide with the time. On both sides we divide with the time. Here divide with time. Here also divide with the time. So when you divide with the time, Na by time is what? FA. Moles by time is molar flow rate of A. FA is equal to Na naught by time is FA naught into 1 minus XA. 1 minus XA. Okay. FA is equal to FA naught into 1 minus XA. So that means in the output condition, right, FA is equal to FA naught into 1 minus XA. Next one, disappearance of A by reaction. That means in terms of the moles. Here within the MFR also, that means generally because of the chemical reaction, that means A disappears for the to convert to the product. So this can be written as minus RA into V. Why? This is similar to the batch reactor term. There also we wrote minus RA into V. Here also minus RA into V. What are the units of minus RA? Mole per meter cube into second. Multiply with volume of the reactor, meter cube becomes cancelled. Finally, you can obtain the term as mole per second. Substitute all these equations into the material balance equation 1. That is input equal to output plus disappearance. Already accumulation, we made it as 0. So here, when I substitute all these quantities into this equation, what is the input term? Input term is input is equal to FA naught. Input is equal to FA naught. What is output? Output is FA. FA we wrote is FA naught into 1 minus XA. FA naught into 1 minus XA. And next one, disappearance term. And accumulation term we already made it as 0. Why? Because of the steady state nature, we made as 0. So that means here the this disappearance is minus RA into V. Minus RA into V. After substituting 3 quantities into the material balance equation, we got this equation as FA naught equal to, alright, FA naught into 1, FA naught minus FA naught into minus XA minus FA naught XA plus minus RA into V. So both FA naught becomes cancelled on both sides. On left hand side we have the FA naught, on right hand side also we have the FA naught, both becomes cancelled, and bring minus FA naught XA naught to the left hand side, that becomes positive, this is negative. When you bring to the left hand side, that becomes positive. FA naught into XA is equal to minus RAV. So this is the final equation from the material balance equation after substituting the input, output and disappearance and the accumulation from the conditions of the MFR. So this is the FA naught XA is equal to minus RAV. This is the final equation. So here also you can do this slight mathematical manipulation. From this one you can write, bring FA naught to this side, minus RA to this side. So then you can obtain V by FA naught is equal to XA by minus RA. XA by minus RA. So here sometimes when you use the 2 MFR sensors, the XA is the conversion of the variation between these two. Okay. In that case, you can write the del XA by minus RA. When you use the 2 or more than 2 reactors in series, XA can be replaced with del XA. Why? Because that means XA is the variation in the conversion between 2 or more than 2 reactors. Okay. And here from the space-time definition, V by F naught can be written as tau by C naught. From the space-time definition, V by F naught is equal to tau by C naught. Okay. So from this one again, take this space-time definition, tau is equal to 1 by S. This is equal to V by nu naught. This is equal to V C naught by F naught. This is from the definition of the space-time. And also in place of the V by F naught, again substitute this into the from the MFR. V by F naught is equal to what? X by minus RA. Substitute here. So C naught retain as is, in place of the V by F naught, write XA by minus RA. Okay. So from this one, now our target is to find out the again here also time, space time, and space time is the performance measure of the batch reactor and that means the flow reactors. Space time is the performance measure of the batch reactors, that means the flow reactors. What is the space time? At time required for the conversion of reactants to the products. At time t is equal to some 5 minutes, how much amount of the reactants gets converted to the product. So the space time can be taken as the performance measure of the batch reactors and the flow reactors. So from this equation, now take suppose if you have when you carry out this reaction in laboratory, we can generate the experimental data of minus RA versus XA. If you have the experimental data of minus RA versus XA, you can find out the space time graphically. You can find out the space time graphically. For this, that means take 1 by minus RA on y-axis and take the conversion on x-axis. Again plot the graph. Again plot the graph for given experimental points, or when you generate experimental points in laboratory. For that, when you plot the graph, now earlier we have taken while calculating the area, we have taken the only bottom portion of the graph. But here we are taking both the portions. So here you consider the upper portion and also consider the bottom portion. Why should we consider for both the portions? So earlier on right hand side we have the integral. Earlier we have the integral, now we don't have the integral. Whenever you don't have the integral on right hand side, when you calculate the area graphically, we need to consider both the portions, upper portion and the bottom portions, while calculating the area. So whatever the area you got, if you can equate it to the what, this is tau by C naught. This is the tau by C naught or equal to the V by F naught. This area is equal to, can be equated to the V by F naught or tau by C naught. Since once if we got the area from this graph, if you equate this tau by C naught, here C naught you already know, this is the initial concentration of the reactant. From this you can obtain the tau. Tau is what? That is the MFR time required to obtain the desired conversion XA, or with help of this one you can find out the CA also, that is the concentration of A left within the reaction mixture without converting to the product, once if you know the XA or tau. So like this also, here you can put this into the different form similar to the batch reactor. Here also you can convert to the this one conversion to the concentration. How can you convert the conversion to the concentration? Again from this one, now take V by F naught is equal to XA by minus RE. Now take this equation. V by F naught is equal to tau by C naught is equal to XA by minus RE. XA by minus RE. Now take these two terms. From this one you can write tau is equal to CA naught into what is XA? Already from the conversion definition you can write this as CA naught minus CA by CA naught. CA naught minus CA by CA naught. CA naught becomes cancelled, divided by minus RA. So finally you can got the tau as CA naught minus CA by minus RA. Here write this as CA naught minus CA by minus RA. Now again the plot. Now take 1 by minus RA on y-axis and take the concentration on x-axis CA, and this is the CA naught, and this is the CA naught. Again now plot the graph. When you plot the graph and take, since the integral is not there on the right hand side, while calculating the area we need to take both the portions, upper portion and bottom portion. That gives the area tau. Tau is the MFR time required to obtain the desired conversion, the XA or CA. So here within this performance equation of the MFR, we have the many quantities. What are these quantities? We can have the volume. Volume is nothing but size of the reactor. F naught is the initial molar flow rate of A. Tau is the space time required to obtain the desired conversion. We can have the minus RA and XA. So with among the all 5 or 6 quantities, if you know some of these quantities, you can find out the other one. The performance equation, always you can calculate for given reaction, you can find out the size of the reactor required, That means at a given space time you can find out the conversion of the reactant, or you can find out the concentration of A left within the reaction mixture after certain time t, or you can find out the rate of disappearance of the reactants as function of the reaction time. So, among these 5 or 6 quantities, if you know some of these quantities, you can calculate the other one automatically. Okay. Next one, the performance equation for plug flow reactor. Before you go to the performance equation for plug flow reactor, it is very important to remember the characteristics of the PFR. The PFR is a tubular reactor. That means during the PFR, that means here early entry fluids and late entry fluid do not mix with each other or overtakes one another, and also the concentrations are varies with respect to the length of the reactor. The concentrations of the reactants varies with respect to the length of the PFR, but at any particular length the concentrations do not vary with respect to the time. So, here when the concentrations are varying with respect to the length of the reactor, that means the concentrations are varying with respect to the position. Since the concentrations are not uniform within the reactor, since these are changing with respect to the position or length of the PFR, we need to break down the entire volume of the PFR into small volume elemental strips and apply our material balance equation to any one elemental strip and then integrate to the whole reactor to obtain the complete performance equation for the PFR. So, for that, before you go to the performance equation, you can see the diagram for the PFR. This is the PFR diagram. So, this is the tubular reactor. This is the input conditions, that is inlet conditions. Inlet conditions are what? The initial concentration of A as CA0 and FA0 is the initial molar flow rate, the conversion is 0, nu0 is the volumetric flow rate, and this is the outlet conditions CAF, that is the final concentration of A, and FAF is the final molar flow rate of A, XAF is the final conversion of A, and NEF is the final volumetric flow rate. Since the concentrations are unique, that means varying with respect to the length of the PFR, break down the entire volume of the PFR into small volume elemental strips. After breaking down the entire volume into the small volume elemental strips, apply the material balance equation to any one elemental strip. So, here I have taken the small elemental strip of volume dV. Here I have taken the small elemental strip of volume dV. For small volume elemental strip dV, what is the entry? And that means that is inlet conditions FA. FA is the molar flow rate of A. That is the inlet FA for the volume element dV. What is the outlet condition? FA plus DFA. FA plus DFA. DFA is what? The molar flow rate of A within the volume dV. Within the volume is dV. And what is the conversion within the volume element dV? The conversion is dXA. The conversion is dXA within the volume element dV. Okay. So, here when you observe this one, the conversion is increasing along the length of the reactor. The conversion is varying and we go from entrance to the exit of the reactor. This is the curve of the conversion, XA, that means this is the XA curve. The conversion is increasing along the length of the reactor. And also, since the concentration is not uniform, here we have to generally break down into the small volume elemental strips. Here we have taken the volume element of dV, and for that inlet is FA, outlet is FA plus DFA, and conversion is dXA. So, with help of this information, we can go to the material balance equation, apply the material balance equation to the volume elemental strip D of dV, and then integrate to the whole reactor to give the complete performance equation for P. So, here apply the material balance equation for the volume element dV. What is material balance equation? Input is equal to output plus disappearance plus accumulation. So, since the PFR is the steady state reactor, accumulation is 0. Accumulation is 0. And here, what is the input of A? The moles part, that is input of A is equal to, that means here we are applying the material balance equation for volume element of strip dV. That means volume of strip having volume dV. So, here this one input of A, for input of A is equal to what? Here small correction, input of A is FA, this is FA. So, both are here overrided each other. The input is FA. What is output? Output is equal to FA plus DFA. Output is equal to FA plus DFA. And also next one, disappearance of A by reaction within the, that means the volume element, that is dV. Disappearance of A due to the chemical reaction is minus RA. what is minus RA, but here what is the volume? Earlier for batch reactor and MFR we wrote V, but for the PFR, since we have taken the volume elemental strip, this volume is dV. So multiply with minus RA into dV. So here we are applying the material balance equation to the volume element of strip dV. So for that, input is FA, output is FA plus DFA, and disappearance of A within the volume elemental strip dV is minus RA into dV. Substitute all these equations into the material balance equation, and already accumulation we made it 0 because of the steady state nature. Substitute all these quantities into the material balance equation. FA is equal to FA plus DFA minus RA into dV. And also here both FA becomes cancelled, FA becomes cancelled. So from this one you can write this as what is before you that means here do the mathematical manipulation. Consider the first DFA. First consider the differential of FA. So what is FA? FA is equal to, I already said that FA is equal to FA naught into 1 minus XA. Expand this one. FA naught into 1 is FA naught. D of FA naught is 0 since FA naught is constant. Minus again FA naught is constant, take out of the differential, minus FA naught into dXA. So in place of the DFA write minus FA naught into dXA. So substitute back into this equation 2. Then you can obtain minus here in place of this one write minus FA naught into dXA. And now take this term to the left hand side, that becomes what? FA naught into dXA equal to minus RA dV. Minus RA dV. Again do the slight mathematical manipulation. When you rearrange this one, it gives the, and bring this FA naught to this side and minus RA to the left hand side. So when you do this one, you can obtain dV by FA naught is equal to dXA by minus RA. So this is what? This is the material balance equation, final equation when you apply to the that means the volume elemental strip of dV. If you want to integrate to the whole PFR, integrate this equation from 0 to the final volume V. Final volume V. So on left hand side, dV by FA naught, take the initial volume that is at the entrance of the reactor. So 0. At the exit of the reactor, total volume is V. So at the entrance of the reactor, that means since the reactant is not entering, so the conversion is 0. For conversion, XA is equal 0. That means at the entrance volume is 0, volume of the reactor 0, conversion is 0. At the exit, it has volume, total volume V, and the conversion is final conversion XAF. Final conversion is XAF. This is the final equation. In the next step, you can do this as one. So when you do this one, integral dV by FA naught. So 0 to the total volume V on right hand side. Integral dx by minus RA type, that means here XA conversion 0, final conversion is XAF. So FA naught is constant, 1 by FA naught is also constant, you can take out of the integral. So 1 by FA naught. Integral dV is what? Integral dV is V. Substitute the lower limit is 0, upper limit is V. P minus 0 is what? V. So V by FA naught. Here we got the V by FA naught. On right hand side, 0 to XAF dXA by minus RA. Substitute back here as it is. So from this one, you can write this as V by FA naught equal to tau by CA naught 0 to XF dXA by minus RA. So this is the performance equation for. The PFR. So V by FA naught equal to tau by CA naught 0 to XAF by that is dXA by minus RA. Again from the space time definition, you can put this into the V by nu naught V CA naught by FA naught. In place of this one here CA naught, V by FA naught again can be written as this term 0 to XF dXA by minus RA. Okay. Again similar to the earlier one, you can plot the graph. If you have the experimental data of minus RA versus XA, you can plot the graph to find out the right hand side integral. Now take 1 by minus RA on this y axis and XA on x axis. So the area under the curve gives what? V by FA naught or tau by CA naught. Here also you can convert this to the again concentration units. So you can plot the graph minus RA versus the times, you can obtain this as a tau value, that is the area under the curve. Why? Because now for the PFR, we have the integral on the right hand side, the area under the curve gives the tau value. Earlier for batch reactor also we have the integral. So we have taken the area under the curve. For when you take the MFR, we have taken the both upper and bottom portions of the curve, since integral is not there on right hand side. Okay. So again, with help of this performance equation, if you know the sum of these quantities, you can find out the other one. Mainly the quantities can be calculated for performance equation to find out the size of the reactor, to find out the conversion, you can find out the minus RA, to find out the CA initial concentration, CA naught, and final CA. That is the CA at any time t during the reaction. Next one, here when you take the n plug flow reactors in series, how can we find out the conversion? Now earlier just now we have seen the performance equation for the single PFR. If you want to take the n PFRs in series, when you take the n PFRs in series, its conversion for consider the n PFR, that is from reactor 1 to PFR 1 to the PFR n. Its conversions within the PFR is x1, x2 and x1 be the fractional conversions of the component A leaving the reactant reactor 1, 2 and so on n. So based on the material balance of the reactor, that is to the reactant within the reactor, we already got the material balance equation. Based on the material balance equation of the reactant A, we already developed the performance equation for one reactor in PFR. So with help of this one, you can write the performance equation for ith reactor. So earlier we got the performance equation for PFR as V by Fa naught is equal to 0 to XAF, that is the final conversion, dXA by minus RA. Just now we derived this equation. From this one, when you take the n PFRs in series, you can write this equation for ith reactor. How can you write the ith reactor? In place of the volume, you can write the VI. VI is what? Volume of the ith reactor. The conversion again Fa naught is same for any reactor. For n number of reactors in series, Fa naught, the initial molar flow rate of A enters into the reactor, Fa naught is same. Again here Xi is equal to conversion I is equal to 1 to that is I minus 1 to I. So I minus 1 is what? The conversion from the previous reactor. The conversion from the previous reactor to the conversion within the ith reactor. Xi minus 1 to the Xi dx by minus R. Earlier when you write the performance equation for the single PFR, we have taken the limits as 0 to the conversion XF. Suppose before this, suppose when you take the ith reactor, before that if you have the I minus 1th reactor, we need to consider the conversion of I minus 1th reactor also as lower limit, that is can be written as Xi minus 1 to the Xi dx by minus R. So here with help of this equation, you apply for n reactors in series. On left hand side, first write the Vi by F naught for n reactors. When you write this one for n reactors, so here this can be written as sigma Vi by Fa naught, Vi by F naught, here he has taken Fa naught as F naught is equal to integral 0 to the xn. Nth reactor means first reactor is 0 dx by minus R. So this can be written as minus RA or minus R. This can be written as sigma Vi by F naught for n reactors. How can you write this as V1 by F naught plus V2 by F naught plus and so on Vn by F naught. So when you take F naught common, that is V1 plus V2 plus Vn, it gives the final V. Here you can obtain this as V, that is the total volume of the reactors. When you combine the individual volumes of the reactor of the reactors PFR, you can obtain the final volume as V. So this can be obtained V by F naught is equal to, from this one 0 to the, from first reactor to the nth reactor, how can you write this as conversion term? Right hand side, for the first reactor the conversion is 0. Before that one we don't have the reactor, so the conversion is 0 to the x1 first reactor, again x1 to the x2, again under integral term dx by minus R is same on right hand side, and so on for nth reactor xn minus 1 to xn. From addition theorem of the integral, you can write this as, when you combine all these integrals, what is the starting lower limit? 0. What is the, that means the what is the final equation upper limit is xn. 0 to xn dx by minus R. The final equation can be obtained as V by F naught is equal to V by Fa naught is equal to, or F naught is equal to 0 to xn dx by dxa by minus R. dxa by minus R. This is the final equation. So based on this final equation, we can say that when you take the n PFRs in series with a total volume, V gives the same conversion as the single plug for reactors in this series. That means individual plug for reactors, that means individual volume is V. Okay. So when you combine all the reactors in series, whatever the total volume V you got, it gives the same conversion as, that means the single MFR gives. Okay. Next one. So when you take the equal size MFRs in series, so similar to the PFRs, when you take the n MFRs in series, so here we have taken the n MFRs in series, first MFR, the second MFR, this is the first one, second one, and here and so on, ith one, finally nth one. For all these conditions, we can have the inlet conditions C naught, initial concentration x naught 0, F naught nu. Again here within the that means MFR, we have the volume V1 and time T1, space time required to obtain the desired conversion XA. Again for a second reactor also, we have the V2 T2, tau to C1 X1 and so on C2 X2. Finally, you can obtain for ith reactor Ci minus 1, Xi minus 1, Ci Xi. Again for nth reactor Cn minus 1, Xn minus 1, Cn Xn. So here let us now quantitatively evaluate the behavior of the series of n equal size MFRs. Assume the density will be assumed to be negligible. Density assumed to be negligible. When density is assumed to be negligible, here these are the MFRs, the steady state flow reactors. The volume, when you take the volume is constant and here mass is always constant. When you take the volume is constant, you can consider this as density constant. Okay. From this one, here for all these, when you observe this equation, the nu is same. The nu is same, and when you consider the equal size volumes, that is the volumetric flow rate for all the reactors are same, nu constant, and also when you consider the equal size, that means volumes also constant. V1 is equal to, V2 is equal to, Vi is equal to and so on, Vn is equal to constant. When V and that means nu are constant, the tau is also constant. The tau is also constant since tau is equal to V by nu. Since tau is equal to V by nu. So from this one, in next step you can do this as, so here apply the material balance for component A about the ith vessel. We already developed the performance equation for single PFR in the previous classes. With help of this equation, you can apply this equation as for ith reactor. So then tau I is equal to, this equation can be written as, the tau I is equal to C naught Vi by F naught. So in place of the here, this can be written as Vi by nu. Again, this can be written as C naught into, in place of the Vi by F naught can be written as del x by minus Ri. I already said in place of the V by the F naught, that is we wrote earlier del x A by minus Re. So del x A is nothing but what? The previous reactor conversion minus current reactor conversion. That is C naught into, again Xi is the conversion of ith reactor minus Xi minus 1. That is the conversion of the previous reactor divided by minus Re. From this one you can write this as, again tau I is equal to, write C naught into, what is Xi? Xi can be written as, Xi already said that Xi is equal to 1 minus Ci by C naught. From the conversion definition, Xi minus 1 is equal to 1 minus Ci minus 1 by C naught. From the conversion definition, substitute the conversions in terms of the concentrations. You can write this as 1 minus Ci by C naught. Again, in place of the Xi minus 1, write Ci minus 1 by C naught. When you do the mathematical manipulation, after taking the LCM and all, you can obtain this as Ci minus 1 by Ci divided by Kci. Now do the cross multiplication with tau I. Now take these two terms, tau I is equal to Ci minus 1 minus Ci by Kci. When you do the cross multiplication and when you take some common, finally you can obtain Ci minus 1 by Ci is equal to 1 plus K tau I. What is Ci I minus 1? That is the concentration of that means the reactant in the previous reactor. Ci is the concentration of reactant within the ith reactor equal to 1 plus K tau I. Okay. Next one here, this can be written as, so here I already said that since the nu same for all the reactors, and also when I take the equal size reactors, volume is same. When volume is same, tau is equal to V by nu. Tau is equal to V by nu. Tau also same. That is the space time for all the reactors in series MFRs in series are same. So space time is same because of the nu and v are same for all the reactors. Then this becomes what? Here tau also becomes same. Space time is also same in all equal size MFRs. So then this equation can be written as, when you take this term C0 to Cn, C0 is what? The concentration of A, initial concentration of A to the first reactor, and Cn is the concentration of A, that is the reactant A, comes out of the nth reactor, that is the last reactor. Okay. So C0 by Cn can be written as, first one, when you take the product of all the MFRs in series, C0 by C1, C1 by C2, C2 by C3, here suppose it to be C2 by C3, and later C3 by C4, like that Cn minus 1 by Cn. All these becomes cancelled, C1, C2, C2, C3, all becomes cancelled, finally left with C0 by Cn. Here we wrote C0 by Cn equal to 1 by 1 minus Xn, the previous one. Now this is equal to what? This is equal to 1 plus k tau y to the power of n. For each term, that means here we have the 1 plus k tau y. When you multiply 1 plus k tau y for n reactors, you can obtain 1 plus k tau y to the power of n. From this one, when you rearrange this one, finally from this one, you can obtain this equation as C0 by Cn is equal to 1 plus k tau y to the power of n. So when tau y is not same for all the MFRs, we should not write like this. Whenever tau y is same, since rate constant is constant, so whenever the tau y is same, you can directly write on right hand side 1 plus k tau y to the power of n. Now this equation on both sides multiply with, take the power of 1 by n. When you take the power of 1 by n, this C0 by Cn to the power of 1 by n, and also on left hand side also take the power of n. Already n is there, n into 1 by n becomes 1 plus k tau y to the power of n divided by n becomes 1. So from this one you can write C0 by Cn is equal to 1 plus k tau y. So from this one here, you can obtain tau y is equal to, that is this already power is there now, 1 by n, C0 by Cn to the power of 1 by n minus 1 divided by k. Before that you can have 1 by k. This is for one reactor, that is tau y. If you want to have for n reactors, multiply with n into tau y is equal to n by k into C0 by Cn to the power of 1 by n to the power of minus 1. So this is the, when n reactors in series, this is the tau value. Tau value, that is the space time, required to obtain the conversion. Okay, this is the performance measure of the tau 1 I is nothing but what? The performance measure of when MFRs in an equal size MFRs in series. Okay. Next one, reactors of different types in series. So sometimes you can have earlier just now we had seen the MFRs in series, PFRs in series. Instead of this one, some different types of reactor in series. First one we can have the PFR followed by MFR, later followed by PFR. So whenever you can have the different types of reactor in series, how can we find out the overall conversion, or how can we find out the conversion at the intermediate points between the these reactors? Okay. So if reactors of different types are put in series, such as a mixed flow reactor followed by PFR, which in turn is followed by another MFR, like this, here we may write this equation as, for first one when you take the this MFR, for MFR you already developed the performance equation, V1 by F0 is equal to X1 minus X0 by minus Ra. X0 is the, so here the conversion of the previous reactor, X1 is the conversion of the current reactor again. So since previous reactor we do not have, the conversion is 0. Again V2 by F0. Second one is, if it is PFR, this is MFR first one. Again second one PFR. PFR is what? V2 by F0 is equal to integral X1 to the dx by minus R. X1 is the conversion from the earlier MFR, X2 is the conversion within the PFR. Again followed by, we can have another MFR. MFR also X3 minus X2. X2 is the conversion from the PFR, previous reactor, divided by minus R3. When you combine all these equations, you can you can find out the overall conversion, or you can find out the conversion at the intermediate points between these two. Okay. Okay, here so far we had seen different types of the reactors, that is steady state reactors and unsteady state reactors. In steady state reactors, the concentration do not vary with respect to the time. In unsteady state reactor, concentration varies with respect to the time. The best example for unsteady state reactor is batch reactor. The best example for steady state reactors are PFRs and MFR. And also we have seen the material balance and energy balance equation. So whenever that means the reaction is happening, whenever the concentration is not uniform within the reactor, we need to break down the entire volume into the small volume elemental strips. And here and for this any one elemental strip, apply the material balance equation to the any one elemental strip and integrate to the whole reactor when the concentration is not uniform within the reactor. If it is not uniform within the reactor, break down the entire volume of the reactor into small volume elemental strips, apply the energy balance equation to any one elemental strip and then integrate to the whole reactor. That gives the complete performance equation. So here this for any reactor design, the starting point is material and energy balance equation. With help of this one, we can develop the performance equation. And after that, we have seen the performance equation for batch reactor, the performance equation for plug flow reactor, the performance equation for MFR. Next one, we have seen the performance equation for MFRs in series and the performance equation PFRs in series. And then finally, the performance equation for different types of reactors in series. So here for any reactor design, the performance equation always that means here very important. With help of this performance equation, we can compare different designs of reactor and we can conclude to the best design in terms of the. Thank you.